Hey, I'm Ari. I got a grant from Emergent Ventures about a year ago at this point for a biotech project that I was working on at the time. It was a pretty straightforward process, honestly. We actually applied to Emergent Ventures India, which is sort of like the separate branch of the main Emergent Ventures. So we interviewed with Shruti, not Tyler. That said, information is honestly really similar and applicable, like regardless of whether you're speaking with Shruti or Tyler. I've spoken with tons of recipients, and the sort of like key takeaways here are very similar across the board. But I think the information on the application is actually the same. They ask for all of the same questions, all the same information. The first part of the application is just sort of like this one-liner, this sort of like Twitter style. Very short description of what it is you're working on, and then you get into the rest of the application form. They ask questions on there that sort of acts like as like a template of like what you should be hitting on in the application form. We share some examples of applications like lower down in the grant guide page for Emergent Ventures, so like be sure to check those out. Actually, my example application is one of those. And so once you submit that, I mean, I've heard people hear back anywhere from 1 to 2 days all the way to 2 or 3 weeks. I personally heard back closer to 2 or 3 weeks. But it completely depends on, it's pretty random. If you are rejected, you still get an email, which I think is great. And so once you get invited to an interview, if you get invited to an interview, these are very short calls. These are like 10 or 15 minutes usually. And sometimes they tell you like right at the end of the call whether or not you got the grant. Sometimes you have to wait like a few days or a week to hear back. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think like there's nothing too crazy with this. These are like really, really cool people that you have the opportunity to speak with, regardless of the grant itself. I think as long as you're coming to this, truly with a deep understanding of what you're working on, you're excited about it, you're passionate about it, and I really think that that's like all you have to do. At the end of the day, these are people who like want you to succeed. They have specifically selected your application to speak with you. They hope you're going to work out. You sort of just have to confirm their suspicions with that. And yeah, I mean, a lot of times I hear, including in my interview, you just end up having like cool conversations with these people. Sometimes, maybe not even relating to the project itself. Once you've sort of gone through that part of the conversation, keep in mind, these are like really, really smart, experienced, accomplished people. Whether you're speaking with Tyler Cowan or Shruti Rajagopalan, yeah. So just enjoy the conversation. And as far as like budgets go, I think they range from like $1,000 to $50,000, although I'm not totally sure if that's an official range. It's just what I've heard. So really think about, as far as the budget goes, like specifically what do you need? Try not to add anything that is like sort of padding that budget or inflating it. As long as you are really consciously thinking about what you need to succeed, sort of like take the bare bones equation and then maybe put a little bit of padding on top of that to account for errors. But yeah, you should be golden with that. Anyway, good luck. I hope you get it.